Hello guys, and today we're going to be discussing the "Is Royale High Dying?" question that has been going around the community and the player base for quite a few months now. I will quickly warn you that this video might get pretty long, so feel free to diamond farm or draw or just something whilst you listen along, because I did not want to cut the video down just to make it shorter, because what's the point of an informational video if you're just going to cut out all the information? So yeah, I'm also very aware that there are other YouTubers who have covered the "Is Royale High Dying?" question. I've had this video in the works for literally a month now because I wanted to make sure that I could answer the question correctly. So I spent the past month finding sources and basically just seeing what people say and how people act, and just looking at everything. So yeah, I'd very much appreciate if you could stick around for this video, no matter how long the video ends up being. And yeah, let's get into it. But first I'm gonna take a drink. Now, I've decided that the only possible way to answer this correctly is by splitting it into multiple questions. I've decided to split it into 3, and those 3 questions are: is the player base for Royale High dying? Is the community for Royale High dying? And will Royale High continue to die once the new school comes out? And I think this is the thing that people aren't considering, is that the player base and the community are different. You see, there's a lot of thousands of people who play Royale High but do not take part in the community. So I think it is important that we do split those 2 things up when looking into this question and this discussion. So we're gonna first look into, is the player base for Royale High dying? Now, this category is gonna have a lot of dates and a lot of numbers, so please hang in there, and I'm going to try my best to explain it. Now, if you were here last week, you know that I came across a website that showed me a lot of information on Royale High. One of those things being a chart that showed the amount of concurrent players playing Royale High. And if you don't know what concurrent means, it means for something to exist or happen at the same time. So when I say concurrent players, I mean the amount of players playing Royale High at one time. So Roblox shows you this anyway. So you can see, when you look at your Roblox games, it will say how many people are playing right now. That is what concurrent players mean. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if this chart is for the highest number for that day, or whether it's just an average on how many players were playing. I'm not too sure which one it is, but it's mainly the patterns and similarities that I'm looking at. And another thing to say, this chart, this concurrent player chart goes all the way back to November 2019. So we have a chart showing us how many Royale High players are playing the game at once daily, going all the way back to November 2019. And I'm gonna get my notes up here. So it shows us that May, this month that has just passed, we've had around less than 50 concurrent players playing. Compare that to last month in April, it was around the same, like under 50,000 concurrent players, but there were a few days when there were over 100,000 playing, which would probably be for the Easter update. Going through March, it was around 70,000. I've noted that, but you see on the 1st of January, well, aka New Year's Day, this was the highest spike on the chart, like going all the way back to November 2019. This was the highest spike on the chart. So 1st of January this year, there were 252 players playing Royale High at one time. And that seems to be the highest amount of players that Royale High has had at one time. I can't imagine it getting that like in 2017 or 2018. Obviously I can't see those. But yeah, that was crazy. And December, I've just got that noted as good, so I assume it was around the same. What have I got? Okay, so I remember October, that had a pretty nice amount of concurrent players. I remember one day it had over 200,000 people playing at once. Now we're gonna look at the numbers going from November 2019. So this was almost a year and a half ago, I think. But yeah, in November 2019, there were around 40,000 to 60,000 people playing at once. And December 2019, there were, again, 40,000 to 100,000 players playing. And there's a thing to note that this was before the world went through what it's gone through for the past year. So this was when everyone still had their schedules, they could still, you know, socialise and stuff like that. This was before everyone got put under house arrest. So that is something to note, that it seems like the average amount of players... Well, November, nothing really happens in November, and that had 40 to 60,000. So we can assume that on months where there wasn't anything happening in 2019, there were an average of around 35 to 60,000 players playing, and on a month where there was something happening, like a seasonal event, we could assume that there were maybe 100,000 people. So keep that in your mind. January and February of 2020, so again before we all got put into house arrest, there were around 50,000 to 80,000 people playing at once for those 2 months. Now, March. Now, two things happened in March. One of those things was the trading update on the 23rd, and the thing, I can't say it, but the thing also happened. We all got put into house arrest. Also, kind of on the 23rd, I've looked at the times when all the different countries shut down everything. It was around the 23rd as well. And surprisingly, throughout, just right after the 23rd, the Royale High players, the Royale High concurrent amount of players, it goes over 100k. Over 100k people are playing at once every single day throughout, obviously, the end of March, after the trading update and after a world shutdown. So you know, after the trading update came out at the end of March, it stayed over 100,000 people playing at the same time throughout April, May and June. There wasn't a single day where it went under 100k. And that did slowly ease back down in July, August and September. It went to an average of 80,000 people playing. Now, you may be saying to yourself, oh, the trading update, you know, that's, ugh. But there's another thing to consider there. The fact that everyone got basically told to stay in their houses. You see, Roblox got an influx of new and active players because everyone had so much spare time. So what ended up happening with Royale High, and why the trading update was so successful, was because there was an influx of so many new and active people. And that's the only time where Royale High has stayed over 100,000 every single day for 3 months. It happened for 3 months. Royale High stayed over 100,000. And so what we're actually looking at here is people assuming that Royale High has, you know, it always needs to have over 100,000, else it's not, you know, it's dying. And if we look back on November 2019, the average was 40,000 to 60,000. And now we're seeing an ease on restrictions, and people are going back to their old schedules and lives and going back to school and work and stuff. So what we're actually seeing here with the decrease in numbers is actually just the thing ending. Royale High is just reverting back to its average player count. The average player count being between 40,000 to 100,000 players. The reason why it was so high in 2020 was because of the thing going on in the world. So if you're one of those people looking at the amount of concurrent players for Royale High and thinking, wow, that's so low, that's so dead, it's just gone back to what it was. It's not dying, it's just going back to its average amount of players, because, you know, people are going back to their old lives and their old schedules as things are easing, so less people that we gained last year have time to play Royale High now. So don't worry if the player count is on like 40,000 or it's not on 100,000. We're most likely only going to see it over 100,000 when an update happens, or when there's a seasonal event, or when the new school comes out. It's, from what I can gather, Royale High has an average of 40,000 to 100,000 at most. So on a month where nothing's happening, we can expect 40 to 60,000 concurrent players, and on a month where, of course, an update's happening, we could probably expect 60,000 to 100,000. So if you're looking at the numbers, just don't worry, it's fine. Now, another thing to discuss is what do the active players do in Royale High? Because there are many people saying that, oh, everyone just trades now, no one does role plays. And to that, people are just bored. That is it. I, myself, used to be an avid Royale High role player throughout 2017, 2018, and the majority of 2019. I lost motivation to roleplay around the end of summer of 2019 because truth is, I mean, we've had Enchanted since 2017, same with the Classic Campus, and the current Royale High Campus was introduced in 2018, and they don't really get updated after being released. So the reason why roleplays have died out is because people just don't know what to roleplay anymore. We've been using the same campus, the same classes, the same roleplay tools, just for years now, so you can't really blame people for not feeling motivated to roleplay. I mean, it doesn't matter how many characters you make, it's still the same place and the same amount of possibilities, so yeah. And people still want to play Royale High, but they just don't feel motivated to roleplay, so a lot of them are turning to trading instead, because at least with that you can get some kind of new experience through doing that, and it feels productive, I suppose. So yeah, just it's kind of one of those things where they're, you know, I've kind of explained it, the reason why there's not many roleplays happening. There are still people who roleplay. You have, like, every time I've been to Moonlight Square, there are people roleplaying there. At the schools, it's kind of a 50-50. Most of the time, it's just the really young players who can't quite tell if they're roleplaying or not. So when they walk up to you, and kind of ask you to be friends with them, you're not sure whether they mean in the roleplay or whether they're one click away from sending you a Roblox friend request. So yeah, unfortunately the player base is just a bit bored right now. So the amount of players, totally fine. What players are doing in the game, they're just bored. So they're deciding to spend their time trading because that feels like the only thing entertaining, productive thing to do in the game at the minute. So, to answer, is the player base for Royale High dying? No, it's not. It's fine. It's just all of the 2020 people have gone back to their old lives, so they don't have time to play Royale High anymore. Royale High has just simply gone back to what it was before the world shut down. It is fine, and the people who are sticking around are just bored because there's not really any updates happening. So yes, hopefully that has explained that. Okay, so the next question to answer is the Royale High community dying? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I have not been in the community for too long. I've been in it for maybe just over a year at this point. I did not get to see what it was like for 2017, 2018, or the majority of 2019. I'm a pretty new member to it, although I have been playing the game since its initial release. So the community, it seems to thrive off of new content, which obviously there's not a lot happening right now regarding that. And the second thing is burnout. Now, you might not know what I mean by burnout, but the simple thing is people are just kind of burnt out from waiting for new updates and being told that the updates are coming out soon only for them to not. And I'm not gonna blame the devs fully for that. Like, I totally understand that there will be times where things go wrong, or like, you know, something personal comes up so they have to stop developing, or, you know, development gets slowed down, or stuff like that. I totally understand that. I'm not trying to say that it's all the developers' fault, but the issue is that the community don't have anywhere to place their excitement for new updates, because the developers don't work by deadlines. Whenever they say that the thing is coming soon, it normally takes another God knows how long, and so the community just gets burnt out. Like, they don't know when or what to get excited for, and when they do, they're normally left disappointed or let down when the update doesn't actually come. And you can't really blame them for that. I did a live stream last weekend, and I was just saying that I was pretty hyped for the new school, and that launch said that it was probably going to come out at the end of summer this year, and my chat just disagreed. My entire chat that was speaking were like, nah, we don't think it's going to come out this year. Like, how many times have the devs said that something's going to come out soon only for it to not? Like, I don't trust them anymore, and like, I don't know, I feel like the community should trust the developers for the game, but I don't know, it's such a strange, like, thing that's happening only to the Royale High community. And, like, the only way I could say to maybe fix that issue is, like, even if the developers don't want to work to a deadline, or they can't work to a deadline, maybe don't announce updates so early in development. Maybe wait until the update is very close to completion, because then you can maybe estimate a bit better when the update's going to release, and you're less likely to have things go wrong. And it means that the community have less time to wait and get their hopes up or be let down, or, like, that's the only way I can think to fix that issue. But yeah. To answer, is the community for Royale High dying? It's just very frustrated and burnt out and unmotivated right now, because again, the community thrives off of new content and new things, but when the new content is the thing that's stressing people out and, getting people's hopes up, and then just feeling disappointed. Yeah, the community is just kind of burnt out at the minute, which we'll probably fix once the new school is being released. So, yeah, to answer, is the community dying? I wouldn't say it's dying, it's just partly hibernating and mostly frustrated right now and burnt out. It's kind of a tricky thing to answer, because again, I'm not too sure how to fix that. I mean, there must be some kind of way to avoid the burnout, because there are a ton of other games that don't have this issue. There are a lot of other passionate, like, game dev groups who can, not burn out their community with new updates, so yeah, I think that is something that needs to be worked on with, like, the community and the developers, because it's really not great, I understand that people do need to be patient, but then again, it's the constant being told that it's going to come out soon only for it to not, or it being constantly pushed back further and further until it seems like it's not going to come out until, like, next year. So yeah, that's just one of those things. Now, to answer, is the new school going to fix this issue, or will the Royale High everything just continue to die once it's released? I have a lot to say on this one. Now, do keep in mind that most of this is my own view and my own opinions, because I mean, I can't really get many facts for this category, can I? So, will Royale High continue to die once the new school is out? My answer to that is a big fat no. It's going to fix all of the issues that we're currently having with Royale High. So like I said, when I answered the player base question, the player base is fine, it's just bored. The player base is just bored, but it's fine. And the community is just burnt out from waiting for the new school. So once the new school comes out, the community won't have to wait for it anymore, and the player base will have something new to do. So the answer to that is no, the new school will fix all the issues that we're having currently. And to the people who think that the new school is going to be boring, or think that they're just going to look around it for an hour and then think that they've seen everything there is to see, let me just tell you some stuff. Let me just tell you some stuff, right? As someone who has witnessed the introduction of both the classic and the current campus, people get addicted to those. Like, okay. When the classic campus came, that was the introduction to the leveling up system. The leveling up system did not exist in Enchantix or Fantasia Hotel. It was a completely new concept, and the school was completely new. It was completely different from Enchantix. And the main appeal to the classic campus was the fact that when you leveled up, you got the crowns and the gems, and people got so addicted to decking out their crowns with the same coloured gems that people just played it a ton. I used to play it a ton because I wanted a really cool looking crown, because you didn't get to pick the colours you got. It was a spinny wheel, and it gave you some random colour, and you were very unlucky if you got a colour you didn't like. So yeah, and with the new school coming, the level system, reward system is coming back. They've already said that there's going to be magical powers. So when you level up a certain amount of times, you're probably going to unlock a new magic power. And let me just say, another thing, in Enchantix, in the baking class, you used your magical power to decorate the cake. And that was back in 2017. So what we're most likely going to see with the new school and with the new powers is that the powers are actually interactive with items or in classes, and that's going to make getting the magic powers more appealing. And that's just my theory, but if, they were capable of making the magical powers do something back in 2017, we're most likely gonna see the new, we're most likely gonna see it again, in the new school. So there is that. And another thing to say is that the new school is super big, and the developers have already said that everything that the school is not going to be released all in the first update. the new school is going to be released over several updates. Meaning that as soon as the new school drops, you will not be able to experience everything there is to experience with the new school, because not all of it's going to be released. So what I'm gonna guess, what I'm guessing is that the first update where we see the school, obviously it's gonna introduce the new campus. There's probably gonna be a set amount of classes, dorms maybe even the elemental obby things, because the element teams are coming back for this school. And, you know, we're gonna see a playable amount for the new school on the first update. And what we might see is maybe an update like a few weeks to a month later, where it introduces more classes, maybe more dorm furniture, maybe just more content, and then again and again and again. And they've already said that they want to update the new school for seasonal events and stuff like that. And it's not going to be a thing that you're going to get bored of that easily, is what I'm trying to say. So no, you're not going to get bored of it, like, after an hour of flying around it. Maybe on the first update, if there's, you know, I don't know how much stuff they're going to put in the new update, but, like, you're not going to experience everything on the first go. And to the people, mainly the other OG players from 2017, 2018 and 2019, I know that some of you are concerned that the new school isn't going to be what you loved about the old campuses. I know that some of you don't trust that it's gonna be the old magical fantasy royal thing that old Royale High used to be. And to that, I say, it's going to be everything that we loved about the old stuff, just new. And let me just hear my reasoning. I can't give you a reason. I just know, right? I just know. I have that gut feeling. It's been a while since I've looked at the screenshots and stuff, but I came across something that I shouldn't have, and it made me cry. I can't explain to you what it was, but just know that it made me cry, because I am that attached to Royale High nostalgia. So yeah, I mean, that it was just one little thing. I can't imagine how much more stuff they've put in. But like, I am fully convinced that they have been listening to us on what we found very nostalgic. I mean, we've told them. We've made it clear what we loved about old Royale High. We've made that clear. We've made that very clear in the community. And the devs are aware. So please don't worry that the new school isn't going to be like the old stuff or the old themes. I'm convinced that it is going to be what we used to love about old Royale High. It's going to bring that back. And will the new school fix... Will the new school fix the issue with the Royale High player base and community? And I've already said that before, but yes, I do genuinely think that it's going to fix everything. The only issue is that we just have to wait for it. We just have to cope and stay positive and just wait. Just try not to lose sanity and everything will be okay once the new school is released. And if you are one of those people who is feeling very negative about either Royale High or its community right now, and you want to take a break, or maybe I've seen a lot of people say that they're quitting because the new school is taking so long, or that they're feeling very negative about the community right now. Literally, just take a break. Do not quit. Do not get rid of all your items. Do not get rid of your entire inventory, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's bad. Don't. Because the community and everything is just kind of... It's not great right now. I'm going to admit that. Everything about Royale High is just not that great right now. Everyone is bored or burnt out or frustrated. Don't quit right now. Don't get rid of everything right now. Just take a break. Because I promise you, if you quit and get rid of all your items now, by the time the new school comes out, you're gonna come back, and you're gonna be so sad that you got rid of all your stuff. You're gonna become one of those players who, like, you know, you're just gonna become one of those people who is like, oh, you've got the Batman heels, oh, I used to have those, but then I traded them away and I miss them so much. I wish I didn't trade them away. Yeah, you're gonna become one of those people. And let's be honest, we don't really, okay, we find those players annoying, basically. You've ran into those kind of players, even if they didn't trade it away, whether they got like scammed or something. It's like, oh, okay, all right, oh, I'm sure you'll get it back soon. Like, don't become one of those players. Those players are so annoying and they feel so guilt-trippy. Just take a break. Don't get rid of your inventory. Leave your inventory alone. Just take a break and come back once the new school comes back. If you comes out, but if you still hate everything, still feel negative about everything, when the new school comes out, then do it. Do it then. Do it then. Just don't do it. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. You will most likely regret it. So yeah. So, to answer the question, is Royale High dying? No. Royale High is not dying. Player-based board, and it's gone back to its average amount of players, because the world is functioning again, meaning that less people have time to play on Roblox. We've simply just reverted back to the average player count. But the players who are playing right now are bored, and the community are burnt out and frustrated and feeling very negative right now. We have nothing to do, everything has gone down the drain, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine once the new school comes out. It's like a band-aid. Yeah, we'll be fine once the new school comes out. For now, just keep your sanity. And yeah, so new school is going to fix everything. I promise you. The reason why everything feels so negative right now is because we're bored and frustrated and burnt out. So yeah, if you do decide to take a break, that is perfectly fine. Do not quit right now. That is so, like, you're probably going to regret it. If you do quit right now and get rid of all your items, just take a break. It'll be fine. Yeah, if you do decide to take a break, just know that I do non-Royale High content on Mondays, so I do things like Miraculous Ladybug, Five Nights at Freddy's, also some doll stuff here and there like Monster High. So you can stick around on my channel if you do decide to take a break. I do cater to other communities as well on this channel, so you can stick around here if you do decide to wipe everything away that is Royale High. So yeah, and if you are sticking around in the Royale High community, I post Royale High stuff on Fridays, and I sometimes do live stream playing Royale High. So yeah, you can also stick around here if you still want to be in the Royale High community. I don't know what I'm gonna make, but I'm gonna try and make stuff. I know that content has been a bit rough lately, but I'm still gonna try my best. Now, I just want to state before I end the video that the main reason why I put so much effort into this video as I did is because I know how much Royale High means to some people. I understand that some people do use Royale High as a creative outlet or a coping mechanism or just an escape from whatever they're dealing with. So I understand that people going around parading that Royale High is dying or dead is very worrisome or stressful or anxious, like, to those people. So I did just want to make this video to, of course, state that it's not dying, it's just going through a rough patch right now. Yeah, if you did, like, find this video informative and you do agree with this, or you found it to kind of ease your worries, and you know, if you just appreciate this video, please remember to like it and to leave a comment as well, because I do want this video to get out to as many people as it possibly can. And the YouTube algorithms do pay attention to things like the watch time, which is how long you've watched the video for, and the likes and the comments and stuff like that. So if you do, if you've got this far, so, like, please just, you know, interact with it so it does get out to more people, because I think more people do need to hear this. Maybe even share it, but yeah, I hope you have found this helpful in any way. I have put a lot of energy and heart into this video, because I do genuinely care about this game and the community, so I do just want it to get out there. I spent so much time making this video, it took a month! And I did just, ugh. But yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll be here next week, whether you are watching my Royale High video or if you're watching my other miscellaneous videos. I would very much appreciate if you stuck around on my channel, and yeah. Goodbye. Hopefully the new school comes out soon, because I don't think the Royale High community is gonna cope for much longer, so goodbye.